And during that time, of course, the band was helping me smuggle pot into the prison. I'm honored that sometimes you play our... The one thing about being a musician is we may not tour a lot, but we never shut up.
So what is a fungo and how is it checked?
We did not pay that bill.
The sickest...
All right. Hey, y'all. Welcome to Everybody Gets 15 Minutes here at Waterloo Records in Austin, Texas. A quick conversation with some of our favorite acts we have the privilege of hosting live in store right here on our own stage. I'm Gus Ochoa, and this is Greasy Wheels.
Thank you.
Welcome to Waterloo Records.
Thank you.
I've got Mary Hattersley, Sweet Mary.
Sweet Mary.
That's right. Mm-hmm. That's right. I've got Lissa Hattersley.
Also Sweet Liz.
Also Sweet Liz.
Sometimes.
And Cleve Hattersley.
Not
right
so
across from
sweet,
me.
Cleve.
Yeah, and you'll notice they all have the same last name. It's a family affair.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I love that. So what do y'all think of the new shop? I always ask people when they come in.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
We spent a lot of time in the old shop and played there several times and always enjoyed it. We've known John Kuntz for at least 40 years.
Yeah, I was going to say, do you remember back? You probably remember back the one that was across the river, right?
Sort of.
The little house.
Sort of. Yeah, kind of, sort of.
Yeah.
But mostly at the one that was across the street, just down there on 6. This is a beautiful setup. The stage is probably 3 times the size of the one there, so we'll actually fit with our 8 members.
A lot of people say that coming in. They're like, "Oh, I'm so stoked about the parking, and the stage is bigger." Yeah. Have you played the 6 Lamar shop before? Did you play that location when John was? Yeah,
at least a couple of times.
Yeah.
In fact, I just told Emily we have some film of that.
Oh wow, really?
I'm gonna send it to her. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Edmund, our social media guy, if you're listening, well, you will be listening because you'll see this. You should definitely look up that footage. I would love to have that on our YouTube.
And the one we have that I know of is the entire song, "Don't Come Home When You're Mad at Me."
Amazing.
Oh, jeez.
What?
I don't think I've seen that.
Oh, yeah? I'll send it to you too.
Well, and once, when you send it to us, we'll get it out there. Then you'll have it forever. There you go. So, we already touched on the familial thing from the top, but let's get into it. Tell me about the name Greasy Wheels. I've been seeing it growing up my entire life.
Really?
Where? Okay, so it's Greezy.
That's correct.
Is that right?
I was just telling Mads before we said, your technician.
Sure.
I was on a basketball team, the 6th grade team, when I was in 5th grade because I was just very passionate about playing.
Sure.
But I had a lot of baby fat. I was still heavy with long, skinny legs.
Okay.
And as I was running to take a lap shot one afternoon, one of the kids just yelled out, "Hey, look at those Greasy Wheels." Just like that.
Whoa, really?
Just exactly like that. And then all those years later, when I first got together with Michael Pugh, the late Michael Pugh, and Pat Pancratz, within an hour, we knew we had a band, and within an hour and 10 minutes, we knew it was going to be Greasy Wheels.
Gosh,
although at that time, we called it the Greasy Wheels Skiffle Band.
All right.
Which lasted about 10 minutes.
Before you just cut it off a little bit shorter. Yeah. Well, those basketball origins are making me think we were just talking about the Spurs and the Knicks before we got started, Lissa.
Yeah.
So there you go. That's baked into your musical existence. I love it.
Yeah.
So give me a time frame. When was that all starting? When did that all kind of happen?
With the band?
Yeah.
In 1970.
Okay.
I started playing in 70 a few weeks after my first daughter, Harmony, was born because I had gotten busted for smuggling pot to New York City.
Oh wow! And that was in
1970.
70. Okay.
And so at the beginning of 71, we were already kind of getting towards having a band. And Mary joined us, I think, in about February of that year, 71. And Lissa came in about a year and a half or 2 years later when she came down with a whole bunch of other people from our little town.
I think it was still 71 because we played a few places where I was only 20.
Oh, that's right. So that would have been at the Hungry Horse.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And Lissa came down with 5 or 6 other people with a band that she wasn't in that band, but they called themselves Fast Sam, and they were all from the same town that we all grew up in, Canandaigua, New York.
Oh wow, okay. So this is in New York. You're coming down.
Came down from New York
to Austin.
I had come ahead. I had been in San Francisco, and the Guacamole Queen got somebody to send me an airline ticket to come Austin because San Francisco was at that hate street is dying stage.
Got you. Yeah. I lived there for a couple of years, in 2008. I mean, it was a short-lived thing, but I was still looking for that, you know what I mean? A little bit. Yeah.
Well, it still has a lot of that. San Francisco has retained more of it, I think, than even Austin has.
I don't know about that.
Yeah. What do you think?
I was in San Francisco in 1963, and that was just before,
Yeah.
The hate.
They did call us hippies. I went there to be a beatnik, and they called the youngsters like me hippies.
Was the, why am I blanking? The bookstore.
Yes, City Lights.
Yeah, City Lights.
That's the
that
first
was already
place
in
I went,
operation.
straight City Lights.
It was one of the first places I went when I went there in 08.
Still, right?
It was so cool.
Oh, yeah.
It was really cool. I'm a Dylan nerd. So it's like I wanted to see that, and I wanted to see.
When I got to San Francisco in 1963, that's where people first got me high. I had smoked my first pot and took my first acid.
Wow.
All in
the memories.
All in 1 year.
Yeah.
Wow, amazing.
Well,
Yeah, exactly.
that's what we were doing. And I met my first demonstrator. He came down from Washington State. He'd been demonstrating against the war. It was, the 60s were the 60s. And I was there in the middle of it. Cleve and I later discovered when we went to San Francisco after we got together, we were living on the same block at one end.
Yeah.
Really?
Different times.
But not at the same time. I
About
was
8
there in
houses from each
63.
other. We
He
had
was there
each
at
lived there.
67.
Okay, amazing. So yes, y'all are married, and Lissa, you're the sister.
I'm the sister.
She's our baby sister.
So where were you at this time when we're talking about San Francisco in like 62,
I'm
63?
younger, so I was, I was still in school for the summer of love of 67, and then I graduated in 69 and moved to New York immediately. And everybody that I knew was working at the Fillmore East, so I got a job at the Fillmore East too.
Wow. We all worked at the Fillmore East for
different
Bill
times.
Graham.
Yeah,
That's amazing.
but I was always into music. In fact, I played music before Cleve did.
I mentioned before we hit the air that it was her performance at a high school event in the gymnasium of our school with another young lady. I realized how good she was.
Well, what instrument were you playing at the time?
Well, for that, I was just singing.
Okay.
But I started playing my little guitar when I was 13. Got a real guitar when I was 15. And I still had that guitar until a couple of years ago when I donated it to Matt Smith.
Oh, wow.
Who teaches special needs kids, and he didn't have enough instruments.
Oh, that's wonderful.
And the neck on that guitar was too wide for my messed up hands, so I gave him my guitar.
Yeah, that can be uncomfortable if it's a little bit too wide, for sure.
But I have another guitar with a narrower neck.
Fantastic.
I should mention, though, that she played mandolin with the original band. It was a key part of the whole how we became known as progressive country, which always offended a New Yorker, But at the same time, it was true. We had a fiddle, we had mandolin, we had all these Southern boys from South Austin that, represented that. I was much happier when people started noticing that we were more like the Grateful Dead than...
Sure. And I think that you said progressive country, like these days, the alternative country thing gets thrown around a lot. And I think in a way, maybe you were like a little bit ahead of your time.
Yeah.
I listen to your music now and I'm like, if this came out today, somebody somewhere would be like, can we sign them? That's so unique, It's
Our drummer,
amazing.
John Bush, came up with just the other day saying, I always thought of you guys as the talking heads of alternative.
There you go. That's interesting. I like that.
John's the next, he's Lissa's generation, really, right?
Well,
He's even younger than you.
he's younger, yeah.
John Bush and the late Brad Hauser came over from Edie Brickell and New Bohemians.
Oh, yeah.
Brad
Great
passed
band.
away suddenly 2 years ago. It was really a blow to all of us, including Edie and Paul and everybody. And for these dates, the bass player that was with us before for 16 years has joined us for our dates, John Jordan. And John Jordan kind of earned his chops with Chris Duarte Group
Oh, yeah.
and John Mambo Trainer. What was the name of their band? Do you remember?
The Vanguard.
The Vanguards.
Yeah, Chris Duarte is such a ripper. When I was a kid in Austin, it was like the blues was like a really big deal. So,
Oh, yeah.
So it was all those gunslingers, were doing their
Well,
thing.
I was his agent and manager for a while.
Oh, really?
Along with Lou Ann Barton.
Oh, wow.
The Killer Bees.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And
Michael E. Johnson. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Michael E. Yeah. There's stories about him I can't really tell on the air.
Sure. No, I mean, I was kind of going to go back and go, wait, what happened with the marijuana, the pot bust? I wanted to ask about that. That's so crazy. Do you talk about that kind of stuff?
Oh, yeah. I'm proud of it.
Well, what happened?
Well, let me try to be as quick as I can.
Okay,
because
sure. No.
It's a pretty unique story.
For sure.
I get busted on the way at the airport.
Yeah.
In those days, they didn't have, X-ray, any of that stuff. And I thought they'd opened the bag, and I still to this day think they did. And they busted me, and I hired the lawyer Sam Houston Clinton Jr., who became a judge.
I was
really
going to say, was that guy a politician?
Well, he became a judge.
That just sounds like
and he managed to get me on appeal for 2.5 years, and it went all the way to the Supreme Court. And there is still paperwork up there, Cleve Hattersley versus the United States Supreme Court. And I thought it was because they illegally opened the bag, but no, it was because Sam Houston decided the law was illegal itself. So it was really the first lawsuit taken to the Supreme Court challenging the illegality of pot. Mm-hmm.
Wow. And what year was that?
I was busted in 1970.
Okay.
And it hit the Supreme Court in 74.
Okay.
74.
Amazing.
And that's when Ronnie Earl, who was the DA at that time, Lissa had written a letter to Ronnie.
Yeah.
I was already in prison.
Yeah.
I was down there, and Lissa wrote to Ronnie and said, he's a family man. Can you help us out here?
Right.
We had already done some campaign tribute, shows
to
raise money for Democrats.
For him and for Ann
for him.
Richards.
And
They were all, the Democrats were a very tight, unique group of people, and we sort of helped them out.
I liked Ann Richards.
2 days before, a week before I went, it was just a few weeks before I had to go down and give myself up. Colonel Wilson Spear, the head of the Texas Department of Safety, made me an honorary Texas Ranger. So when I went to prison, I was already an honorary Texas Ranger.
Is there a photo somewhere like of Nixon and Elvis, like you and the guy? Hey, look at my badge.
But Ronnie managed to pull the strings. He went over to Dolph Briscoe's office because Ronnie, by the time he got the letter from Lissa, was in the legislature. Mm-hmm.
And it was the year that they actually changed the marijuana laws to be more lenient. Like it used to be
one joint and you're
done.
in prison.
Yeah. I knew guys down there for a joint with 30 years.
There were people there for seeing.
I had friends whose parents were in bands and stuff like
and
that.
So
who
this
went through
law
that
was
stuff
like
too.
if you had less than an ounce or something.
Well, there were 2 misdemeanor levels that were created, but they took all that over to Briscoe's office after the legislature had created the bills. Mm-hmm. And they started at 2:00 in the afternoon going over it. About every couple hours, the governor would stand up and say, okay, that's it. And they'd say, no, we still got to finish this. At 2:00 in the morning, he stood up and said, if you name one more thing that I got to do for you, I'm going to shit can the whole thing.
Yeah.
And they said, well, there's one more thing. We want you to let this guy out.
Right.
And he signed my commutation papers.
Oh, amazing.
Mm-hmm. I was out 11 days later.
What governor was that?
Dolph Briscoe.
Oh, yeah, Dolph Briscoe.
But we played without him for 11 months. We carried on.
Yeah, they kept on.
We carried on. I became more of a lead singer than I was previously.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, she was the boss.
How'd you feel being like leading that for almost a year?
That made me nervous at first.
Yeah.
But we were glad to have him back. I mean,
sure.
But we were determined to keep the band going until he came
We had a
back.
free Greasy T-shirt that everybody wore, with this, it was a weird picture of Cleve on it. But
with bars.
And
during that time, of course, the band was helping me smuggle pot into the prison.
Amazing.
Well, some of this stuff, I guess it's okay to have this stuff recorded.
Well, I mean, at this point, I'm just kind of like, that's amazing.
I am proud of everything we've done. We now live in New Mexico for many reasons, but one of them is the fact that it's legal.
Yeah.
And it always should have been legal.
Yeah. And New Mexico is beautiful.
We're in Las Cruces where we could see the mountains on one side and we see the city on the other. And it's beautiful.
Not far from El Paso, that kind of thing.
Well, it's like driving into hell, coming back into El Paso, but we do occasionally have to do it.
I always love those. I had a late friend, my late friend Andrew Shapter, who took me out there on a couple of road trips to see the Southwest and the national parks and things that are out there.
It's beautiful.
White Sands.
White Sands is so amazing. Yeah. I tell everybody, please go. You should go see it. It's like, I don't know, there's something about seeing like a wide open expanse, like the sea, that kind of thing that sort of sets my mind free. And I got that same feeling out there.
Now, we kept recording, though. John Bush, as I mentioned earlier, from Edie Brickell, he's the drummer in the band now. He and I kept recording and sending tracks to Lissa and sending tracks at this point to Matt Hubbard to put his tracks on, and Brad, and then John Jordan again came in and filled in over the last couple of years. So we kept building this sort of collection of tunes. We had released CDs over the last 20 plus years, but we'd never been really serious about promoting them.
Right.
But when I heard that Trey and Emily had refurbished and taken over Armadillo Records, I had Jason Millard from Texas State.
My alma mater, yeah.
Oh, good.
There you go.
He put us in touch, and they were immediately ready. So there we go. We decided, let's do this one more time at least.
Yeah. I mean, it's amazing. So we know who we're talking about here, Trey Watson, who is one of our co-owners, and Emily Giannopoulos, his partner. I was just going to get into this little segment to talk about Armadillo a little bit. Emily Giannopoulos, the aforementioned, she's CEO of Armadillo Records. She says Greasy Wheels isn't just part of Armadillo's history, they helped define it. Bringing them back felt less like a traditional signing and more like restoring a piece of Austin music history to its rightful place. It's a return to where we began and just the beginning of what's to come. Is that how you see it? Like putting out a record on Armadillo
that is
Records?
Exactly how I see it.
Like a homecoming kind of?
Well, the record's called We Come, We Go.
Yeah.
And it's a circular thing for us. It's probably the last record. Mary and I are getting to the age where driving 9 hours over here to do things. That kind of, takes...
I've thought about doing a best of record sometime.
Yeah.
Well, if we sell
But it
enough
would be my
copies...
choice.
Emily and I have discussed that.
Yeah.
And if it came that we could sell enough copies that there's at least a break-even point for the company, we're the beta test
Gotcha.
for Armadillo Records.
Yeah.
And it's been as more of a partnership than what it used to be with record companies.
I was just going to ask that too, like because I know that you've been on like London Records. You've been on. There's another label I was thinking.
Well, we
of.
had our own little labels, Mahatma Records and
Like how-
Tana Records.
Tana Records.
Yeah, those are our own labels.
Is that how it's different to being on Armadillo? Like it's more of a.
Well, when you signed in the 70s in that time period, the companies pretty much asked you to give up your soul. We had to give up most of our publishing, or at least give them a healthy cut of the writers' rights, writers' money through BMI. It was like a parent siring a new thing. But now it's been, like I say, a partnership where I've tried to supply what I know about the industry, having learned for many years, particularly working with Kinky Friedman and promoting Kinky for 40 years as my best buddy.
Oh, man.
And they, at the same time, are using their excitement about having both the past to dig from and a possible future with new artists.
Yeah.
The most important thing that they've achieved is they own all of those live recordings from the Armadillo World headquarters, and that's an amazing trove.
Yeah.
And if they can secure rights and get that stuff out, it's going to be sort of earth-shaking for them.
Yeah, I think it's amazing. For our listeners, if you haven't been into the shop, we have a gold room that's also our sort of like green room for artists. Mm-hmm. And Trey's collection of Armadillo posters, I guess is what you call them, are in there. And it's just amazing, like looking at all of that. Again, being born and raised in Austin too, I was highly aware. I was mentioning before my best friend's dad, Doug Hanners. He started the Austin Record Convention back in the day. So it's kind of like growing up with, what are all these records doing around here? And that's a weird painting of an armadillo, like, it's like Jim Franklin, like everywhere, basically. I imagine that is a treasure trove that they're sitting on. Yeah, for sure.
And we were just discussing that we're going to get together for further conversation about the fact that we may be, finishing up something here, but they're just starting. So they are the ones that need to and seem totally prepared to carry the torch. And I'm just delighted for them, and I'm delighted for Austin, and I'm delighted for Waterloo. And the fact that they also...
Mary, absolutely.
And also the fact that they have ownership of the vinyl pressing plant itself. This is
that's pretty amazing, having Gold Rush and Karen involved as well.
I have a memory of being very shocked when I saw a bill that came to us after we had recorded for London Records. And on the bill, they were charging us for these 2 bouquets of flowers that they had brought to the studio from Mary and me. And I thought that was strange that
They brought you the flowers?
They brought us flowers, and then they put it on our bill.
They tried to bill us for $57,000.
What?
When they had a shakeup in the company, and all the people who'd been working on our records were moved or fired.
Yeah.
And so our second record didn't get any attention from the company. Tried
We
to bill
did
us.
not pay that bill.
The sickest thing was we made top of the charts in Japan and never saw a nickel.
Isn't that so crazy? Like the outsiders looking in, like the fans are like, "Oh, Greasy Wheels must be doing great." You know, it's like I don't know about that. It's like the Rolling Stones going to where was it, France or whatever, to record their record to escape the British taxes. I think that's how the story went.
Right,
anyway,
right.
well, I touched on Jim Franklin a little bit, and we've talked about Armadillo some. You played that stage more than anybody else.
Yes.
Like famously, you opened for Willie Nelson in his '72 debut there, I believe, right? And you and Jim Franklin, the legendary artist, for those who don't know or who aren't from Austin, helped define the counterculture movement in Austin. Basically, you guys are kind of inextricably linked. I was just watching this documentary on PBS like a couple of days ago called Armadillo Man: The Trips of Jim Franklin. Have y'all seen that?
I haven't seen it yet, but I've seen clips.
I was just watching it going, holy shit, like this is insane. He would intro y'all and just do like crazy bits almost like.
Yeah.
They were raps kind of.
Yeah, exactly. It was crazy.
And he'd wear this thing on his head that he
There's several giant hats that he created. One was a giant armadillo, of course, and then he had a big sort of turban kind of thing, and he would have robes. And he started becoming his own personality as that went along, and he started doing things like the pumpkin stomp, where he would put a ladder on the stage. He'd be in full costume, and he would take pumpkins and just throw them on the floor.
Whoa.
And that was the
So
Halloween.
Gallagher stole his bit, is what you're saying.
I think
is
so.
what you're telling
That's
me.
right.
It was a Halloween thing.
That's amazing, though. I mean, so can y'all talk a little bit more about like Armadillo Road headquarters and Jim? Like they both
Armadillo
play.
was a place where all of us hippies thought it was our home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
And it was Jim's home. He actually
He lived
lived
upstairs.
there. He lived upstairs.
Yeah, so
That's
in the documentary they were saying like they didn't pay really well, but people were there and they wanted to be there, wanted to work there. They'd get like they'd lose their leases, and then move into the building and like live in the building.
Yep.
It's just
The food coming out of the kitchen was spectacular.
Yeah.
I mean,
And
armadillo nachos.
Yeah.
I still miss the armadillo nachos.
I love
we make
nachos.
them just like that.
I got to say, I should say quickly that we've been doing salons, what we call salons in Las Cruces, where we allow poets and singers and writers and drag queens to just do their stuff.
Love it.
And one of our most popular drag queens was a cook in the Armadillo kitchen.
Oh, really? Oh, wow. Talk about full circle.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So what was that like, Mary? Like just being there, being able to have like that kind of community just sort of built in. I mean, growing up, I would hear stories about it, and I feel like some of that vibe was still left when I was a kid in Austin. You know,
One of my favorite memories is walking across the floor when there wasn't a show on at the time. It was just a big empty place, but they were playing the records of this guy that was coming to town to play there, and it was Kinky Friedman, and I just. I thought he was just the coolest guy.
Yeah, absolutely.
But you know, all the really cool people came and played there.
Yeah.
And we met them all. And we opened for most of them. And what's that guy with the two girls?
Dan Hicks and the Hot Licks.
Dan Hicks and the Hot Licks.
Two girls.
That sounds amazing, though.
Well, Marianne Price is in Austin
She's still
performing.
doing it.
You know,
She's still a friend. And,
still a friend.
And George Frayne.
Commander Cody.
Commander Cody.
Yeah.
Billy Kirchen was the original guitar player.
Still
for
around,
him.
and he was playing after us in Dallas.
You know how I met Bill? They were in town. I think we played the show, as a matter of fact, and we went in to get set up, and they had a volleyball net set up in the middle of the room. And they said, "Come on over and play, Cleve." I'm like, "Great, I'll play." And Bill slammed one into my face.
Oh my gosh.
Say, "Hell, my name's Bill."
I was thinking also Armadillo early on. Not only did they have music, they had ballet performances, and the Sufis would come in and do a whole free rice and vegetables meal. Put it out for people
That's
that just
incredible.
didn't have any money.
That's amazing.
I ate there a couple times, I think.
Yeah, again, on
really
the community side of things, it just seems like it was just from the heart, that whole place.
Oh yeah.
You know, very much so.
It was-
You know, a very close friend of mine from years ago, his dad was Sean Siegel, who played
Oh, I know. Sean. We knew Sean well.
who played
yeah.
Shiva's
Yeah.
headband, and you know, I attended a memorial for him recently, and it was just he was such a cool guy. Just
Well, Spencer was the one that put up most of the money.
oh, I read that. Yeah.
We still communicate. He's still
Yeah.
out there. Yeah.
Yeah.
The one thing about being a musician is we may not tour a lot, but we never shut up.
I love that. Absolutely. Please don't ever, please keep talking. Please tell me about how it used to be and how good it can be. So the new album, speaking of how good it can be, it's called We Come, We Go. You talked about that. It's on Armadillo Records. It's been described as your final music album. You said that, but then today you're saying, maybe not.
Well, it's final new music at this point.
Okay. I still like Lissa's idea of the greatest hits.
Well, Emily and I have talked about it.
Yeah.
If we sell a few units, we might get it. You never know.
Yeah. Well, how does it feel, y'all, to be back and making music again after like some time off?
Well, we've never quit
Yeah.
making music, but we just haven't had a chance to group and gather
Yeah.
and play it in a long time. And it's been a couple of years, but
We're all still playing. In fact, these two are playing as a duo.
Oh, nice.
And I'm playing with my current group,
What's your group called?
a Trip Trio,
Ah,
which is
very
actually
cool.
me and 3 people. So there's 4 people, and
it's the
Never
guitar
changed
player
the
and
name.
percussionist from Extreme Heat.
Oh, okay. Very cool.
It's all very incestuous.
It's it's starting to remind me of like Broken Social Scene, that band from Canada. It's like they play with everybody,
Yeah,
and then they come back together. So was it seamless then, like getting everybody in the room? Like you're famously like one of the first female like violinists. I mean, preceded Scarlett Rivera. I mean,
right.
that's pretty
I did
amazing.
precede her, that's true.
Yeah, and I mean, like how
And she kicks her butt.
There
too.
you
I'm
go.
sorry.
no competition. We're not competing with each other. We're all happy to be playing.
yeah.
No, that's a fact. We don't.
So everything is just kind of seamless. It's just like, oh, here we are.
We're
This is
always
what.
playing, and Lissa and I played together in various
That's right. We had
things
a regular night at the Hole in the Wall for about 4
Uh,
years.
That's amazing.
called Let's Get Big.
Or A-Town. We had a
Or
couple of
A-Town,
different
well,
groups, different configurations, but we held on Wednesday nights for almost 4 years.
Oh,
Meanwhile,
amazing.
I was touring with Kinky.
I love that.
Yeah,
That's incredible. Yeah, you guys, it is sort of incestuous in the best possible meaning of that word.
Yeah, right. In a good way.
So I just want to talk about a couple of tracks of this. Shag and Fungos is the one that really stuck out to me. Like right off the bat, it sounds like it could have been part of like Dazed and Confused soundtrack. meets like the Butthole Surfers, and I'm saying Butthole Surfers in like the way you deliver the lyrics.
No, I'm honored
love
that
the
sometimes you
Butthole
play our
Surfers.
cuts and then the next cut on YouTube comes up and it's the Butthole Surfers.
I mean, yeah. I would encourage everybody to go listen to Shag and Fungos. Like, so, what is a fungo and how is it shagged?
Well, Shag and Fungos is strictly a baseball term.
And you said off the bat, that's, I thought, did you do that on purpose?
What?
It's
What?
a
Right
baseball
off
term.
the bat, he's talking about
I'm just like, I've just got, I
It's,
guess, dad humor just built into me. I'm a father with no children.
When you're warming up for a baseball game, somebody will hit the ball out to you and you're shagging the fungo.
Oh, so wait. So foul balls are called fungos?
Well, any fly ball, you're out practicing,
no
you catch it,
idea.
you're calling shag and fungos.
Man,
And
all
when I
my
was a
baseball
kid-
friends are gonna be like, dude, you didn't know that?
We're Yankee. We're big Yankee fans myself. But anyway, when I was a kid, we had Ronnie Kern lived a couple houses down from us, and he was deaf. And the two of us would go out and shag fungos. I'd hit to him, he'd hit to me. And as a deaf person, he could go and make it sound like a crowd.
Oh, wow.
So we felt like we were in a
Wow.
stadium. I could hear them all across the field, and we did. So, if you listen to the lyrics, we talk about mantle and maze, and,
Yeah.
But if people aren't listening to the lyrics, they think it's a sex song.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't think about that, but I guess it could be. Yeah, but now I know. That's amazing. I also like Rodeo Inn. I like that kind of waltz thing going on.
the country roots of Greasy Wheels.
Yeah, I dig that one. And I also liked In the Middle of.
In the middle of, I got to say, Lissa gave us an album called The Sounds of Soweto Part 2.
Oh, wow.
And it was mostly
beautiful
choral
album.
groups from South Africa.
Yeah.
But this one fiddler doing this crazy thing. And Mary and I listened to that, and we felt, well, we can kind of Americanize that and put some lyrics
Yeah.
to it. And it just automatic came. If any money ever comes from that, we still share from him or his family with him.
Wow.
But that's our world beat song, really, in a way.
I love the idea of repeating the title phrase, in the middle, like in the middle of the bed, in the middle of the room, in the middle of the house. Like, why am I in the middle of the universe? It's almost like a mantra.
It is.
Like
I
it's-
like it a lot.
Yeah, it's very, very cool. I dig that one. Do y'all have any on this record that you're like Lissa, for instance, are there any songs on this one that you're like, oh, I really like that one that you want to call out?
Well, I can't even remember what's on the record.
Oh, let's take a look. Let's take a look.
I want to tell her one thing that's on there is called
It Matters?
It Matters.
Is that the one you're going to say something about?
Yeah, because we recorded It Matters
remotely.
Very oddly, we recorded in Las Cruces the rhythm.
Okay.
And Cleve and I put the guitar and the fiddle on it, and then we sent it to John Bush here, and Lissa went in
and I, to be honest, I didn't know what to do with it.
she goes, "What did you?" And she
But
did this wonderful thing with it. I love what she did.
What they did was they inspired the fact that all of the stuff wasn't previously written by myself or me and Mary. Everybody who's on that record gets credit at BMI.
Yeah.
We're all part of the creation process.
Yeah.
And that song points it out as much as any of the songs. And I say this quite often. We were very good friends with Lee Von Helm.
Oh, wow.
And we were
From the band,
very upset the way Robbie Robertson treated him and Rick. We also knew Rick Danko very well.
Yeah, I read his book.
Yeah.
Yeah, incredible.
And so
This Wheels on Fire, that's what it's called, right?
yeah, I think that is
something
it.
like that.
But I just finally decided, look, everybody deserves the credit too, because even if you're in the studio together, you're working together, you're creating as a unit, as a family, the song,
Yeah.
the sound.
Yeah.
But that one particularly, everybody created their own part and wrote it as much as we did.
Yeah.
I love how that came out.
Yeah,
It matters.
Well, and I love your attitude towards it too. I mean, if I can just say that, like, it's tricky, I feel like, being in a band in that way.
Well,
Even when you start to get like a little bit of success and all of these things start coming in about like, oh, I want credit for this, or, don't forget me on this.
I went through that.
Yeah.
I went through exactly that.
Yeah, and it wasn't your bag.
No, ultimately,
You're like,
no,
Yeah.
no, it wasn't. At first you're saying, well, I'm a songwriter, and you're declaring yourself as a songwriter.
Right.
And I don't want anybody else to interfere. I'm a songwriter. But then really you realize finally
Yeah.
that those songs don't happen without the other input. A friend of ours for a long time is Elliot Randall, the great guitar player, played with Steely Dan. He now does get credit for his guitar work on Steely Dan. In fact, one of his solos, I think from Reelin' in the Years, or one of those, his solo is considered one of the top 10 of all time.
Yeah, incredible.
But it took years for him to get that.
I learned so much talking to everybody that comes in here. I'm like, I had no idea who did that solo. That's amazing. Well, so as far as developing like a sound, you've been described as a raucous blend of rock, funk, R&B, alt country, and Ozarks. Okay. You've got Layla Aksu of KUTX said of you offering a blend of rock, alt country, Americana, funk, and blues since the 1970s. Greasy Wheels remains a testament to the days of progressive country. There it is again. When the cosmic cowboys, I love that term, and hippies lived together in the heart of Texas. But like, define that for our listeners, I guess, a little bit more. Like maybe the younger generations who might not be as familiar with your music. Like, how would you describe your sound?
You want to try? I know what I have to say.
It's a box of chocolates.
That's exactly what we've always been, is a box of chocolates. You don't know what you're going to get from piece to piece of chocolate.
Yeah.
And we've always had this understanding that when we do a song, it's its own little universe. It's its own thing. Because it defies classification to the people that want a certain category for a certain radio station, we've probably missed out on a few things, success-wise. I've been referring lately to the piece that we just recently saw, Mary and I, about the formation of Led Zeppelin.
Oh, yeah.
And how Jimmy Page looked at it. When he came and signed with Jerry Wexler for their first big American release, he said, there's no singles here. This is a record. That's it.
Yeah.
And that's the fun of playing when we have some really, really great musicians. We've never not had great musicians.
Even when we were making our CDs, we always carefully planned what came after what song. It wasn't planned to be played just one song at a time.
Yeah.
It's planned to be played
As a story.
through. To go from here to here to here.
Yeah.
Every album has some very psychedelic piece on it,
Yeah.
and then also something that with the fiddle, or something that's kind of countryish, and something that's really rock and roll. Lissa and I wanted to say there's something, when she came down and started singing with us, she and I immediately had this connection. We understood each other. And one of the things to me, I don't know, I've never talked to her about this. To me, we both have the same idea of feminine power. We're both determined to be looked at as people and recognized as musicians, but we're both very feminine, and we kind of recognize that quality in each other. Would you say that's true?
I would. Thank you. I thank you for saying that, Mary. Appreciate that. And I was going to say, it's interesting to me that people that talk about or, mention songs or want to play the songs on this record, they pick different ones. Everybody's got different choices of what they, what they think this, they like the best on this record. And so I can't even say what I like the best because it could change from day to day.
I think that's a sign of a good record, probably.
Well,
We hope so.
Well, yeah, that's a good way to look
I
at
do
it.
know that we're getting played on every format.
That's, fantastic. Also, I love the dedication to being like, this is an album.
Yes,
I like
that's
that.
exactly right.
But there's always like emphasis on the single that sells a lot, kind of thing. But I feel like all the bands I end up liking and all the bands that in my mind stick around for a while are the ones that make like pieces of music, like full, like a painting. It's like a beautiful.
If you just
like
pay
a
attention
painting.
to the one single that gets picked off of a record, chances are that record, and I'm not talking about ours, but that record could have other stuff that doesn't have anything to do with the single that made the big hit, but people are missing out because they don't get to hear the other songs.
That's true. That's absolutely true. So as far as songwriting goes, we touched a little bit on this. Like, how does it work for y'all these days? Like writing a song. And
It's mostly me bringing it in.
Okay.
At this point, Lissa's written a lot of great stuff. I don't know. I just sort of force it down everybody's throat and say, this is what I got.
Well, it's nice for Lissa that she has her own group too, because
Sure.
she can do.
Well, I tend to lean more towards jazzy kind of stuff, but and I'm not nearly as prolific as Cleve, and so. But I have my way with his songs. When he sends me a song to do, there's a lot of times when it's not really in the right key,
Right.
But she
and so I'll
rearranges
alter
it.
the melody or something so I can do it.
What kind of responses do y'all get from like younger generations, maybe discovering your music for the
It's
first
been
time?
really, it's amazing.
Yeah.
It really is amazing.
Yeah.
It's not everybody from younger generations because as you mentioned the idea of pop music,
Right.
which sort of directs people towards stuff.
Sure.
There's still a lot of open minds in the younger generations that do like, oh, wow, I'm surprised. This is pretty good. How old are you now?
Yeah, that's amazing. I love that. Do you have any words of wisdom for those guys, for younger folks who are like making their own music these
Keep
days?
playing.
And do what you really want to do.
Never stop. Never stop.
Don't try to do somebody else's shit.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. Don't be
Stick.
Taylor Swift.
You could say
she does
that.
it well enough on her own.
Music will keep you young. I mean,
Yeah.
It will.
Look at all the old players that are. I mean, there's people that are 100 years old that are still playing music.
Yeah.
Here's my bit of wisdom, and then we actually have to,
Yeah, I get it.
But Emily, bless her heart, is a really good record company executive, is concerned about, they want us to make money. Of course, they want to make money. But my point is, if you get your song on the air anywhere, it goes out across the universe forever and becomes a part of the universal music. And people are just beginning to understand that music is a major part of the universe. And so as long as we get out there, and even if it doesn't go out on the radio, you just put it on YouTube yourself, it goes out forever. And then it becomes part of the universal sound. That's the final reward for me.
Awesome. Well, lastly, as you make your way around to support We Come, We Go, can you each give me like something that you're listening to personally that's not your music that you think is like, hey, I want to give these people a shout or I want to talk about this? Just give me maybe a record you've been listening to or something.
The Heptones.
Nice.
I love the Heptones.
How about you, Lissa?
No, I don't even. Yeah, it depends. I mean, Nina Simone. I listen to the old stuff. I
Yeah.
like the old stuff.
She's amazing. Sweet Mary.
my daughter just introduced me to a song by Aimee Mann. And we're doing it.
Yeah, Mary and I do it as a duet.
My
yeah.
daughter.
The Moth.
And see, this is not even new. But to me, it is new.
But Aimee Mann's fantastic.
I know
though.
she's
very good.
wonderful.
I love her.
Very good.
So I say, I prefer
And
Aimee
really,
Mann.
kudos to the Stevie Rays. I still listen to him whenever I can. We'll go through YouTube with our daughter Hailey and just listen to stuff all night long and enjoy it. And Luann, and absolutely love her.
I saw Extreme Heat yesterday.
I
I
missed
went
them,
to
unfortunately.
the goodbye party for Hoover Alexander.
Oh yeah, over
Hoover's
on
restaurant?
over on Manor.
If you haven't,
It was an
if you haven't seen
amazing-
Extreme Heat, do it.
It was an amazing send off,
Uh-huh.
for Hoover. And
In fact, Bruce and I are like the two lead guys in two bands that relate to each other probably closer than any other two lead guys in any bands Austin's ever produced.
That's awesome. I love that. Thank y'all for those shouts. I really
Thank you for
appreciate it.
having us.
Yeah,
Really.
yeah. The latest album is called We Come, We Go on Armadillo Records, y'all. It's out now everywhere you stream your music as well as on vinyl and CD. You can, of course, pick it up here. Pick up your copy. See it right here, everybody. at Waterloo Records. You can follow Greezy Wheels and all things Armadillo Records on Instagram at armadillo.records. Sweet Mary, Lissa, Cleve.
Thank you.
Greasy Wheels, thank you so
And
much.
Gus. Thank
That's
you,
me.
Gus.
Yeah, thank you so much for your time. This has been so much more than I could ever imagine. I mean, it's just been amazing sitting down with you. Thank you so much for this.
It's our pleasure.
And thank
Matt's
y'all.
going to be doing a lot of editing, I think.
Yeah, Mads is going to be all over it. Hey, Mads. And thank y'all out there for listening. You can follow us on Instagram at Waterloo Records, at Waterloo.sound for our Dolby Atmos studio, at Waterloo_Wheels to follow the ongoing adventures of the Waterloo van, at Unofficial Dogs of Waterloo to see our canine pals who come in and shop with us as well. And as always, at EG15M to keep up with all of our interviews. I'd like to thank Cory Reinisch, our marketing director, Allie Lingren, our in-house engineer, Mads Lupold for putting these together, Audio-Technica for the headphones and the mics, and of course to the fine folks on staff here at the shop, without which none of this is possible. I'm Gus Ochoa. See y'all next time, and until then, support the artists you love, support your local record store, and next time you're in Austin, stop in and say, hey, we'd love to see you. Adios, y'all.